Welcome to Body Bags. I'm your Friday reviewer, Chris from ChrisB Movies. You know my name is Chris. And you know I love B movies. And these are the films from 1941. I went with a movie called Among the Living, starring Susan Hayward, Harry Carey, Albert Decker, Francis Farmer. A lot of top list actors were in this film. And this film is very film noirish. I'll show you the back. Which I did like about the film. So there's two brothers, John Radin and Paul Radin. Paul Radin is a psychopath, basically, and he got brain damage from trying to stop his father from beating up his mother. John was always the straight-laced one, businessman type, kind of successful. So what happened was Paul, one of the doctor, Dr. Ben Saunders, he faked Paul's death, and everybody thought that Paul was dead. But he was kept in a room, chained up, because they knew that there was something going on with him, and that he was a complete psychopath, because he did kill people previous. Now, after Paul's death, more killings are coming, and everyone's blaming it on John, because, Paul can be a killer. Maybe John could be a killer as well. But what John doesn't know is that Paul is still alive. And he's been kept in this room, like I said, chained up by the butler. And of course the doctor. And the butler and the doctor are the only two who really know that Paul is still alive. So Paul, while in the room, asks the butler if he can unchain him for a second, just because he wants to stretch a little bit. And when he does, he kills the butler, and now he's back on a killing spree. And the doctor ends up telling John, "Hey John, your brother's still alive. He was kept in this room. We faked his death. We put another body in his casket." And John is kind of upset about this, because he's like, well, this makes sense because I'm not a killer. And my brother is kind of deranged. So they're on a quest to stop Paul from committing more murders. And I'm just going to keep it at that. This is a film noir type film. The acting is seldom over the top, but Albert Decker did a great job playing two roles, John and Paul Radin, the twin brothers. Susan Hayward plays Millie Pickens. She does a really great job. Harry Carey is Ben Saunders. It's kind of like that medieval doctor that has a story to tell, but doesn't really tell it. The film is a lot of fun, but I think the film ends too abruptly. I mean, for 1941, a slasher movie, I get it, how it would end as abruptly as it did. There were some scenes that were just laugh out loud funny. Kind of cracked me up. But one thing that I noticed, and I noticed this in a lot of like the Three Stooges shorts, and a lot of films from 1941, is black people were portrayed as butlers, shoe shiners, and you can really see this in this film. It kind of, my wife and I will kind of watch this one together. Although we didn't really enjoy this film, we felt very uncomfortable with those scenes. But those scenes were, back in 1941, and even in the 1930s, were very common. Nowadays, it's not so common and should not be common. And I think a lot of that has to go with Dwayne Jones, who was in Night of the Living Dead. He was the first black actor to play not only a leading role, but play a real hero in the film. And he set the pace for other black people who ended up being in major roles like they should have. But yeah, this is Among the Living. I got this from Kino Lorber. And like I say, this is a very enjoyable film. Not a very long film, like a little bit over an hour, but not much more than that. And the picture looks pristine and really great on this one. Yeah, only 69 minutes. Only special features are audio commentary by professor and film scholar Jason Ney and trailers. But definitely a really decent film and a decent watch, and it's not one that will overwhelm your stay. Just a little bit over an hour. Actually, 9 minutes over an hour. I would definitely give this one a watch. Check it out if you have not seen this one. And if you've seen most films from 1940 and haven't seen this one, this is a no-brainer. Definitely pick this one up from Kino Lorber. and this one was like really cheap. So, yeah, definitely check it out. I'm gonna put this one on the cheeseometer. 10 being the best cheese you ever get, 1 being the worst cheese you ever get. I give it a solid 8. This is a solid film. Some things were a little disturbing, like I had told you before, but definitely just a solid film throughout. Some of the acting was over the top. Some of the acting is really good. But I'm sure you get a lot of this from 1940, but definitely ahead of its time, as it being a slasher flick, basically from 1941. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Definitely check out Among the Living. Check out all the other reviews. They all do a bang-up job. Even Mag is excited in the back. You hear him barking in the back. Yeah. And don't forget to tune in next week, because more fun stuff is coming for you next week here on Body Bags. Like if you like, comment if you've seen Among the Living or would like to see it, or would like to pick it up from Kino. Let me know if you have this one in your collection. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, but don't forget to watch those late night horror movies. Read up on your latest Fright Max. Don't forget to tune in to another episode of the show we call Body Bags. And check out Among the Living.